Executive meeting in Sheffield. They're discussing whether to back the strikes in Yorkshire and Scottish coalfields due to begin on Monday morning. And last night the government announced a big improvement in redundancy terms for younger miners. Now those aged between 21 and 50 who take voluntary redundancy from April will be entitled to £1,000 for each year worked. Hugh Weeks was at the miners' headquarters this morning as the leadership arrived.
A crowd of several hundred miners gathered outside NUM headquarters to lobby members of the National Executive as they arrived. There was a strong contingent of Scottish pitmen who vowed to back their Yorkshire colleagues in next week's all-out strike. And men from the Yorkshire pits of Bullcliffe and Corton Wood, at the centre of the dispute, were also there in force. Amongst the first to arrive was the Scottish miners' leader Mick McGahey, who's calling for a national strike without a ballot. There was an angry reception for the Nottinghamshire leader Ray Chadburn, who's insisted that his men won't strike without a secret ballot. Mr Chadburn needed police assistance as he was pushed and jostled. Meanwhile, the Yorkshire Miners' president, Jack Taylor, seemed in a determined mood.
We're hoping to achieve Yorkshire out on Monday, Scotland out on Monday, and
Scotland, which begin this evening. The stoppages over pit closures have the official backing of the Miners' Union. Tomorrow, leaders of the miners in Nottinghamshire will make their recommendation. They're expected to recommend a strike, but only after a ballot of local miners, which would take about a week. Here's our industrial editor, Giles Smith.
The important decisions aren't really coming today. Kent and Durham will almost certainly ask their men to join the Scottish and Yorkshire strike, but both the small, 16,000 men between them, and the South Wales decision, if they vote for a stoppage, won't influence others enormously. The important votes are in Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire and the Midlands. They all come over the weekend, and they'll affect more than 50,000 miners. The most influential voice there may well be Mr Ray Chadburn, the Nottingham leader, who said he'll demand a ballot before having his men out. The vote in Durham is likely to be for a strike, despite the fact that NUM leaders heard today there wouldn't be any further actual closures in their area, although 2,000 jobs will have to go. In South Wales, the decision could be close. The Welsh miners meeting in Pontypridd are traditionally among the militants, but some are angry that Yorkshire didn't support them last year when they went on strike over closures. But will